the highest 160 megawatts, the highest capacity, that is the demand of our 3,000 megawatts of capacity, are only used 40 hours out of the year. That means that we have to have, that capacity, we have to build and purchase or, install power plants to be used for only 40 hours out of the year. So this is where we're saying that, we are targeting part of this, so part of our programs are targeting at reducing that amount of capacity. There's not a lot of revenue you can make by utilizing your power plants for only 40 hours out of the year. And by the way, this capacity here, these are one of our most expensive power plants. These are the natural gas-fired power plants. It costs to build 100 megawatts of capacity. It cost us way over $70 million. And I'm just using a figure that's $600 per kilowatt. So it cost about $70 million to build 100 megawatt of capacity. We can achieve the same amount of capacity through energy efficiency by working with contractors, with vendors, with the lighting vendors, with the air conditioning manufacturers, and incentivizing energy efficiency equipment at the levels of about $250 to $350 per kilowatt. In 2007 was another one of those very big resolutions, directives that the City Council passed on to the citizens, the electric utility. It says the resolution will commit Austin to make Austin the leading city in the nation in the effort to reduce and reverse the negative impacts of global warming. And here are just a few of the elements that are in our plan to what we call the Austin Climate Protection Plan. For example, it makes all of the City of Austin buildings, facilities, these are buildings that belong to the City of Austin, the libraries, the parks, police, fire, EMS, the convention center, that they will be carbon neutral. 100% of the buildings will use renewable energy by 2012. And in the next 4 years, all our buildings will be on some kind of renewable energy to run the buildings. Our fleet will also be carbon neutral by 2020. It says it commits Austin to building energy codes that are the most aggressive in the nation. To give you an example of, we are working on, because we're the City of Austin, we have energy codes that we are slowly ramping up the minimum baseline standard installed equipment that we are including in our energy codes. In the residential, just to give you an example, the target is by the year 2015, architects and builders are going to have to build homes that are capable of being net zero energy, meaning that the net energy usage of a home by the year 2015 is going to be zero. And these are done by increasing the energy code. Slowly we are ramping up. Every 3 years we're going to be ramping up the minimum required efficiencies on air conditioning, on the windows, on insulation, on the whole thermal structure of homes. Similar, we're doing the same thing for commercial buildings as well. As far as the Austin Energy, by 2020, we are supposed to achieve 700 megawatts of energy efficiency by the year 2020. Remember, in 1980, we said 500 megawatts in 20 years. So now that the city knows that we can achieve energy efficiency, they're giving us 12 years or 13 years to achieve 700 megawatts instead of 500 megawatts. So it's a much more aggressive plan for energy efficiency in Austin, 30% of the energy is going to come through renewable energy. Instead of 20% as was created in our strategic plan in 2003, now we have to meet it through 30% and achieve carbon neutrality on all our new generation. This is one of the things, I don't know how we're going to do this. I mean, that is, I think this is one of the most challenging for us, that all new generation is going to be have carbon neutral, and establish CO2 caps for utility emissions. And this is just a quick summary of how we are achieving energy efficiency. I mentioned that we have programs for every market type or customers that we have in Austin. We provide cash rebates that pay in the order of 20 to 30% of the cost of the retrofit. In some cases, like small business, in small business lighting, we're paying 70%, 80% of the cost of the lighting retrofit. And there's reasons for why we establish different rebates for different market segments. But in general, our rebates are paying between 20 and 30% of the cost of installing energy efficient equipment. We do direct, sometimes we give away equipment, like we give away free programmable thermostats to homeowners. And right now we've got about 75,000 of these thermostats installed in homes in Austin, and we're cycling them during those peak periods that I mentioned in our service area. For low-income customers, we're doing free weatherization. We're adding insulation, putting solar screens, we're sealing the air ducts. We're doing all kinds of things for free to low-income and elderly customers. We provide free engineering studies. We do with government entities like the county government, the state agencies. We get into what we call interagency agreements for energy efficiency, and we use our key account representatives to focus on promoting energy efficiency to the large key accounts, the top 200 accounts. We do a lot of it through newsletters and mail-outs. So that is just a quick overview of Austin Energy's approach to energy efficiency. I have a